What's up, man?
How you doing?
How you doing?
John Malecki, pleasure to meet you.
Oh, what's going on, man? I'm Jocko. Good to meet you, too.
Absolute pleasure.
Sam Green.
What's up, brother?
Sir.
So after we did the Black Rifle table, Yins probably remember I did a guitar for Matt Best that was a bunch of epoxy and bullets. Well, that project was pretty cool, and we've been itching to do another. A little bit ago, Sam came up with the idea of doing a guitar out of JiuJitsu belts for Jocko WIllink. If you're not familiar with Jocko, Jocko is one of our favorite people on the planet. He's an author, he's a veteran, he is a magnificent human being who does great things for the world, and we're both huge fans of him. The whole team here is big fans. So I got to work on the computer, reaching out, trying to get a hold of some people on his team, and by some miracle, we actually made it happen. So we gotta build Jocko a friggin' epoxy and JiuJitsu belt guitar. Let's go. The first thing we're gonna include into this guitar is gonna be some JiuJitsu belts in an Eddie Van Halen fashion, and this should be pretty sweet. Jordan is going to cut the body out on the CNC, but we need to make a mold first. So the plan here is to cut mold into this melamine a little bit bigger than what the final size of the guitar is gonna be. We'll pour the resin into that, and then we should be able to lay all the stuff out. This guitar is going to be an SG shape, just like the last one we did, which is awesome because according to Jocko's daughter, it's his favorite type of guitar. We've already done one, so I hope that little bit of experience helps with this guy.
While we're waiting on the silicone to dry for that, the next step of the project is we want to incorporate the 5 belts of jiu-jitsu into this project. So we have the white, blue, purple, brown, black. Jocko is in fact a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He owns a school. He's been doing it for many, many years. I've done it on and off for the last few years. So the idea here is if you've ever seen the Eddie Van Halen guitar, Benton, it's got all the kind of crisscross designs. Typically that's, I don't think an SG, but Jocko's favorite guitar is an SG, and that's kind of the inspiration here. So I'm gonna take each of the belts and I'm gonna cut 2 24-inch sections, one including the little tab part. I think this is gonna be as easy as, whew, I'm a little nervous on this. We've got the Total Boat high performance epoxy that we use for lots of stuff. We wanna harden these belts into strips first and try to get all the air out of them. 3/4 of a liter probably, and then we'll dunk them, wring them out as best we can, hang them, try to keep them as straight as possible. Here it goes. They're not hanging as straight as I thought they would. I hope this works. I think we just walk away.
The next day.
Definitely didn't ruin John's workbench, if that's what you're asking. Anyway, belts are dry. I think that'll work.
Brown is black.
The other ones look great though.
We're going with this thick set clear casting epoxy from Total Boat. We're gonna pour the first layer, let it cure, and then I guess put the belts in after it cures. I'm just along for the ride, but let's make some epoxy. Wow, only like 20 bubbles. Oh, that's done. Let's go pour this FOB.
All right, so Sam and Jordan went ahead and, as you guys saw, cut and dried. We wanted to like try to seal these in because they're dyed. And,
Right. I think it'll also help control the design of it, so nothing
Yes.
can like float,
Floating and
move,
moving
twist. Like we kind of lock them in. We do these like one at a time, so we don't lose our order.
Hold on, let's do this. Yeah, you make enough mistakes, you start to learn things, right, Jordan? So, unlike our normal order of operations, which is usually just throw that shit in there, we would like this to actually be nice. So, we're going to go with layers. We're gonna get the first layer of belts down first, and then kind of try to weigh them down, hold them down with some epoxy. So, I'm gonna try to just get the epoxy in the center. All right, now we rinse and repeat with the next layer. All right, my children. we are ready to pour. We're going with the thick set total boat with another, we're gonna be right around at 3/4 of an inch pour. This is a 3-to-1 mixture. All right, bubble free and ready to be. Pray for us. We're a bunch of jackass, and because of that, we're not going to use bare-handed tools to cut these pockets or anything. We have a CNC, I think we're just gonna use the CNC. So, Jordan is setting up the program for all of the pockets for the pickups and such on this guy. While planning the body, we referenced everything off this bottom corner here, so everything should line up.
Cannot speak to you right now. I am what we call around these parts puckered. We've only got one shot at this. Jordan's run 4 tests? 6 tests. Everything's looking really good. So fingers crossed, worst case, we all go cry in a river.
I need a coffee, a beer, a nap, a shot of tequila, something. I need something. That was heart-wrenching. It's always interesting because like we've run a ton of epoxy on the machines, but it's different every time. Like we've used a lot of things embedded in this resin. You don't have a feed speeds and race and stuff for JiuJitsu belts soaked in epoxy. So Jordan did a great job. Completely delaminated, huh? Everything that can go wrong is. Real quick before we continue with this gloriousness, I want to take a second to thank this week's sponsor, ButcherBox. ButcherBox is a meat delivery service, and I gotta say, I never thought I'd be into the deliver meats to my house life, but it's the best. Saves me and my wife time from having to go to the grocery store, mosey around, find delicious meats, and then bring them home. Shows up right at your house. It's flash frozen to keep it super fresh, and it's delicious. I've personally been on the carnivore diet here for about a month, and the all meat life has been working really well for me, and ButcherBox has helped immensely. Now, ButcherBox has worked with us before, and because they love yins so much, they are giving you free wings for life. It's a limited supply, and it's only available today. It ends on the 29th, so all of you that see this and are thinking to yourself, I would like to have free wings for life, you need to sign up right now. There's a link down in the description that'll take you directly to the website, which is super easy to navigate. Get signed up, get yourself some wings. Now, I know that's awesome, but there's also more awesome to come. So we gotta get back to this belt. Thank you, ButcherBox.
This got bumped up to being delivered to Tuesday too.
What?
It's Monday.
It's very weird. It's firm and it's not. We let the guitar sit a little bit to off gas because we got all kinds of squirreliness going on when we cut into it. So what he did, miraculously, instead of doing it on the guitar, did it in this template that I'm now gonna use a template bit and fix it. Why we couldn't do that from the first place, I don't know. Neither does he. We're gonna fix it. So I gotta sand this top down to get it flat, and then we're gonna go ahead and fix this really quick, and then shape the guitar body.
Did you say that we're gonna fix this, build that?
No, we're not building anything.
Oh, sorry, wrong channel.
We're what we like to call up shit creek. We have to make our own f***ing paddle. So once again, we're building a guitar, and it is not going to plan. It was going perfectly to plan, and then someone some shit up, and that someone, probably me, but we actually don't know why this is happening. So you guys know we did a multi-layer pour, and we're pretty familiar with how to do this. We've done it before, and we've had success doing so. Layer 1 hardened perfectly. We scuffed up that, and then poured layer 2, as you saw, with our belts embedded in that resin. We let that dry for 6 days. Layer 3 was only about 3/16 to 1/4 inch, hardened perfectly. When we popped it out of the mold though, we noticed that we're still mush, and it's like an Oreo cookie of resin. And typically what that means is that we didn't allow enough time for it to off-gas. Sam called Jess Crow, who is a master wizard. Is there a female version of a wizard? Proper word for that? Wizardess?
She's some sort of sage.
She's a sage with resin and epoxy. And gave us some good advice. We followed that, and it's just still not hardening. What we think potentially happened was by pouring the top and not letting it off gas for say 10 days, we just captured the mushy mush gush gush inside and didn't allow it to harden enough before adding that next layer, which is now going to cause us tons of issues. So when you come in here, this is the neck pocket. The neck pocket, you don't want to be able to mush around with your fingers, so the guitar neck would actually bend and move throughout, as well as these pockets are pretty soft, which doesn't allow us to get nice crisp edges. Couldn't cut a pocket in here. Essentially, so we got to rebuild it. Sorry for my cussing, but I am upset. As well as, sorry Sam, you got to put a bunch of more stuff in resin. Pull. Okay, so this is the 4th time we're pouring this. Considering it was 3 pours on the first one and we somehow screwed it up on pour 2 and didn't even realize. Glug, 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 glug in a jug. The time is now. You suspend yourself.
Is that awesome?
That's really clear.
This might be the best thing we've ever done, Jordan.
It's up there with also the worst thing we've ever done.
If you want to make an omelet, you gotta break some eggs, right?
Broke some.
Okay, here is every 5 minutes it feels like we're doing something that could completely ruin this project. So, for the way the wiring works, there's actually a hole between the 2 pickups, and to do that, they use a really long drill bit, and they go down through where the head goes. The logic there is just that's the only way to get the hole in it. There's probably other ways we could have gone about it, but I think this is the appropriate way. This is what we did on Matt's guitar, and I think that one, it was hidden pretty well with the bullets, so I think we'll be able to hide it pretty well. But I only get 1 shot, 1 opportunity to drill a big hole in Jocko's guitar. We're gonna go slow, pray to our deity of choice, and hope for the best. Well, I tried to sand the tunnel that we just made by gluing a piece of sandpaper to a dowel, and I got it stuck. I just made it worse. Good thing we have this long drill bit. If you're gonna be dumb, put it on YouTube.
So, ignore the sadness behind me because there's awesomeness to follow that. The guitar itself, looking awesome. So Sam and Jordan problem solved the living shit out of our electrical situation. We didn't want to come through the back because it would be pretty much impossible to not make it look like it was a routed pocket from the front. So what we're going to do is hide all of our electrical behind a metal plate. So we've got this metal plate we cut on the plasma cutter, and we'll paint it. We need to essentially make a pocket for it to go in, and then what we'll be able to do is take a long drill bit and drill through into our electrical pickup pocket over here. I've got a straight line that I use to mark off of the pickups here. We're just gonna pick a spot that is essentially where we want this to land and then kind of go from there. I'm gonna use this templating jig. Once we put it down, I'll route the top pocket first at the thickness of this and then go from there. It's gonna work. Most puckering part. Now drill it. So Sam has this thing looking mint. We've got a 2-part finish, 4 guitars. Sam, you get to do the honors on this one. What was that?
Not scared, but let us spray.
Jocko's guitar is looking phenomenal. We would call it around here Boobies Magoo, because we're not going to say the word we actually say before Magoo. In order to make sure that this project is sealed up nicely, we are going to dabble with leather work. Jocko's daughter, who is our inside person on this project, sent us some of their buffalo hide from Origin and that they make boots out of. So Jordan cut these templates up for a guitar case and a bag. Weaver hooked it up with some sewing materials. So we're gonna try our hands at being leathersmiths. We got one shot at this.
One opportunity. Do the thing.
So after 5 hours of getting absolutely nothing done and it screwed up 11 times, we are going to sew the zipper on.
Do I know if this is the right order to do this?
No clue, but it's the order we're gonna do it. And it's what makes the most sense in my brain. Wish us luck. So there's nothing like one, never sewing anything in your life, two, using an irreplaceable, one-off, one-of-a-kind material that you can't get again, and three, having to do it on a timeline because we gotta deliver this thing.
Also, doing one of the hardest, like 5 foot straight zipper stitch.
In the words of my my favorite TikTok, Stale Cracker, let's get it, dude.
Oh, dude, you didn't put the foot down.
Is that gonna be okay?
It's gonna have to be.
We have absolutely no idea what we're doing here. There ain't nothing to it but to do it. So this is what we call a full send.
What are you doing?
Lasers inside, baby.
Is this a bad idea?
Terrible. I'm making a little tag for the outside of the guitar with his initials and his font. It's gonna be like 4.5 inches long. Run this B.
Well, we made it to the airport because it's not that hard to find. I just gassed a bag of beef jerky and Sam's ready to rip. She's in tow. Let's go.
Ooh,
It's here.
we're in Austin. We think it's in one piece. It should be in one piece.
Game time. So this reminds me of when I was playing football. You'd be in a hotel room and you're going down to the bus to get on the bus to go to the stadium. I got the same vibes. Let's go.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
How you doing?
John Malecki. Pleasure to meet you.
Oh, what's going on, man? I'm Jocko. Good to meet you too.
Absolute pleasure.
Sam Green.
What's
nice
up,
to meet
brother?
you, sir.
How you doing, man?
I'm great.
Right on. Thanks for coming down.
We are we're avid fans of the whole brand.
right
have
on.
been for years. Books changed our lives.
You changed
to
your
an
lives.
extent. And I'm a little nervous.
Don't be nervous. I'm not going to attack anyone. I don't
Thankfully.
think, possibly.
So, we have a YouTube channel. I'm
right
a
on.
maker. I build stuff. We make furniture and do DIY work and custom, like cool projects. We recently did a project with the guys at Black Rifle. I built their conference table.
right on.
And we put a bunch of epoxy and put spent shells and ammo in the middle of the table.
Right on.
So they film on it and stuff. It was a really cool project. I then took the same thing and I built Matt a guitar
Oh, right on.
to resemble the table. So we saw you playing some guitar.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Recently.
Highly skilled.
Yeah. Hey, better than most, right?
Better than we are.
And we were like, dude, it'd be super cool to build Jocko a guitar.
Oh, damn.
So we've got something for you here. And if you notice the leather should look familiar
Oh, damn.
because that's your guys'
Freaking
boot leather.
legit. Yeah.
And we made a bag for it too.
That's freaking legit.
And it's
man.
pretty heavy, so I will.
But yeah, we figured you're a strong guy. So
Don't know where you want to put it.
Sick, man.
Reached out to your daughter. She thought the idea was.
What were you doing talking to my daughter?
We were talking about
We
some stuff I
conspired
think
against
you're
you.
gonna enjoy.
Hey, dude. Sick. Freaking legit.
So
Whoa, that's savage.
we had this idea of putting JiuJitsu belts in resin, and then we kind of we were mixing back and forth on a few iterations of how to make it look cool.
Yeah.
We know you like the SG,
Yes.
but we went with a little bit of an Eddie Van Halen flair.
Yeah, yeah.
To make them kind of fit in there.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
freaking outstanding.
so Sam actually rolls.
Oh,
and he's
okay,
got
right
a
on. Are you a
pretty
black
cool
belt?
story about the black belt.
Yes, sir. With the white belt.
Okay, well, you still get
But,
credit. You're in there. You're
on the
lucky you're in
path,
there.
you know. The black belt is the personal black belt of a guy named Mike Wilkins, who's my instructor, who was the first black belt of Stout in PGH. So Pittsburgh's first.
Are you guys
Warren
from PA?
Pittsburgh, yeah.
Oh, sweet.
So
No, I've heard of Stout. Yeah.
So Stout, one of the bigger gyms in Pittsburgh. This is the first belt that Warren gave out from. Mike was his first white belt to black belt. And when I told him about this project, I was like, I need a black belt for this project. And he goes, dude, I'll give you my personal black belt. So it's a little bit of lineage from my coaches to yours as like a thank you for because of you that I got on the mats. And,
Awesome, man.
We just appreciate everything you do. My mom loves your books.
Now it's cool.
Yeah.
Now that your mom loves
My mom
books,
was like, I got her on me. Just a little token of all the amazing things you do for everyone.
Dude, this is sick, man.
And so the inside of the bag is D material too.
oh,
So we made everything from
So we can
by hand. So it's all pretty. It's all
convince the
free.
guys in the factory to send us some
Yeah,
leather and some.
Dude,
And then we put your name on it here.
selling.
A couple of personal touches.
It's freaking beautiful, man.
I do appreciate it for sure, man.
So, and your team's been amazing to work with. We actually had made 2 of these, and the
first
first
one
one
didn't work.
didn't harden enough. So we were like, shit, what are we gonna do? And it was like bending in half. And so we like tried to get another one done as fast as we could. And we were like, we're not rushing this. And I was like, we'll figure out how to get it to them. And when you announced this, we were like, oh, that's halfway between us and where you normally are.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah, man. It's beautiful. Freaking legit.
So, Jocko got the guitar, and he actually smiled. I was super surprised by that.
I was amazed.
He's a really awesome dude, and I think that comes through in a lot of his content. It was amazing just to meet someone that you've looked up to and idolized in person and watch them show gratitude towards something you did for him. So that was phenomenal. What's even more phenomenal is that we want to do more of these projects coming up here in the future. So if you've got an idea for a killer build for someone who's amazing and impacted your life or ours, leave a comment down below. Let us know who. We'll try to figure out how to get it done. And if you love crazy, wild, and weird projects, Sam is holding a killer playlist for you to go watch right here.
It's so heavy.